Okay. So I'm going to try to actually commentate with this now. So this is a Pokemon Yellow no save corruption task. It is a tool-assisted speedrun of Pokemon Yellow trying to not use save corruption, which is where you hard reset the console during the saving process and corrupt the save data in a way that gets you to the Hall of Fame instantly. Now, we have already in this task started the new game at a time that would give us a specific trainer ID. The trainer ID we're going to use as a number to point to half of the party data script in memory. And then we also named the rival something that is a code. And now we are setting fast options. Fast options is where you press left at the same time that you press A, opening the options menu, and set fast text, animations off, and battle style from shift to set all in one action. Okay? And then we have to do a lot of the normal intro stuff, like Pikachu appearing, getting the parcel for Oak, because there's no entry point for arbitrary code execution until you get to Viridian Forest and can fight the final trainer, who has distance vision into a grass patch. Now, we have to go fight the rival. And what we're going to do is manipulate Pikachu's DVs by waiting in certain sections of the text leading up to getting Pikachu. What that's going to do is be the second half of the number that we need to use for pointing towards our party count. So what we need to do is, after we obtain item underflow, we can faster move around memory by, instead of using item underflow to manipulate all the memory, using party underflow. So we're going to use an item called 4F to write code, which is going to decrease our party count from 1 to 0 to 255. And the decrease action in that code is actually going to be coming from the EVs, the stat experience from Gen 1, where you get experience for each stat that the Pokemon has. Fat Bean Zoop, welcome by the stream. How are you? So we actually also have to win this battle in order to get the stat experience, where normally you would lose a rival battle in Gen 1 intentionally, so that you get the Vaporeon from the opposing trainer, and the Ninetales that the Vaporeon's party has, which is useful for its quick attack to get you into Red Bar and maintain Red Bar in the end game. We don't care about Red Bar because we don't have enough battles going on for that to matter. So we just use the winning of the fight to set up that memory and code execution that I was talking about. So the trainer ID plus Pikachu's DVs next to each other, point to that, and use the stat experience from Eevee as a decrement action to send our party count from 1 to 0 to 255. Now, on the way up there, we didn't get any encounters. How? Well, RNG in this game happens on cycles from basically the amount of time that the console has been on. So, we were able to, by delaying slightly, and also by taking diagonal paths, to shift the RNG by a number of cycles, or, again, effectively the amount of time that the console was on, very slightly. And now we're doing that again on the way down here. We're calling that full YOLO grass, because we are walking through a bunch of grass you would never take in an RTA speedrun. Now, we're going to do the Oak dialogue, and a notable thing for the Oak dialogue is that if you press the B button to clear end of paragraph text boxes, the text boxes that don't have jingles, or also hold B through other jingles, like that one getting the Pokedex, you can clear the text boxes faster than with A. So, it is really important to use B to clear these. A human doing the inputs would mostly be alternating between A and B to make sure that he can hit all of the fastest windows to clear the text boxes. But for a task, especially, it's important to use B as much as possible. And especially on those end of paragraph text boxes. And then we're holding B when we walk through Pikachu so that we don't bonk him. Now we have to do our last bit of Yellow Grass, and then what we're going to do is buy a Pokeball in the Viridian City so that we can catch a flyer on the way back to Viridian from Pallet Town. We're going to end up in Pallet Town again because we are going to faint and white out to the Pidgeotto at the end of Viridian Forest. And we need to do that because we're going to get the Pidgeotto encounter in front of a trainer, so that both of the battles happen at the same time, and the battle scripts that run when you encounter a trainer are still active when you re-enter the forest, causing a bunch of code to execute that shouldn't be executing. Okay? So, we are going to manipulate the RNG cycles so that we get a Pidgeotto, the 1 in 100 chance encounter. Because they happen on cycles, we have to manipulate it so that 1/100th of the cycle lines up at the time that we get in front of the last trainer. And the cycle is 13 seconds long. So we have to manipulate a 0.13 second window in front of the trainer. We end up having to wait about 4.5 seconds to do that. So, more YOLO Grass here, and then we actually do a lot of YOLO Grass in Viridian Forest because it just happened to be faster. We needed less A presses. Oh, also, I was saying, we manipulate RNG through delays of time, effectively. So, one of the things you can do to do that is take zigzags and use A presses. A presses cause delay because the game is pausing to check if you are in front of an item or an NPC. It's really just checking for NPCs, but items are also coded as NPCs. They have NPC timers and all the other functionality of NPCs. So it takes 2 frames waiting to do that, and that additional time shifts the RNG by the next check for an encounter. So now we're getting our Pidgeotto encounter in front of the trainer. Wild Pidgeotto appeared. We try to use a move, but it doesn't matter which one we choose to use, because that name never shows up. Pidgeotto gusts us, crits us. The trainer battle activates after we white out. We get sent back to Pallet Town with the trainer battle still active in Viridian Forest. Now we need to get a Pidgey encounter, and the reason we need to get a Pidgey encounter is because the Pidgey, the wild Pidgey, is useful for nicknaming it TAS, which we can use to set the owned Pokemon count to 62 so that we don't have an input during the Hall of Fame dialogue. There's a certain counts of owned Pokemon or seen Pokemon that will give you no input in the Oak message for telling you how good you're doing with your Pokedex. So we corrupt that data value of how many owned Pokemon we have to a number that corresponds to the number of bits in the word TAS. Okay, we do need to deposit Pikachu because we need to only have one Pokemon in our party for all of these party swap tricks. Like I was saying, we have to decrement our party count from 1 to 0 to 255 so that we have party underflow and have an not infinite, but a 255 party count, which we can use for all sorts of manipulation. Now, this is a no reset V-manip. Not even soft reset, no reset V-manip. It's going to cause us to get an encounter in Viridian Forest, but that encounter is less time loss than not doing than doing a soft reset. And also, we didn't need to flash our Pokedex in Viridian City anymore. That was an artifact in the TAS from the time when we were doing RTA strats. So now we get our glitch mart from setting up all of the data with the NPCs in that house. And now we buy 4F, use it to execute the code from... Oh, no, not quite. We get that encounter I was talking about and run from it because we just don't need an encounter right now. And we're doing this because it's faster than soft resetting. Now we use the 4F item to decrement our party count and move the Pokemon around. And that's it. Oh, I forgot to end the timer. So the timing ending would be at the last input.